Welcome everyone, this is DragonInWhite and we are playing Final Fantasy XIV. Previously we went through the Paladin quests and I think today I want to pick up another class. Probably something different from usual. And I think there's only one class that we have not picked up in the entire Udar. So I think let's go for it, the Thaumaturge. We haven't played as a Thaumaturge. That's the only class left in this entire city that we have not picked up. So, here we go, Thaumaturge. Welcome to the Thaumaturge Guild. It is fate that has guided your steps here, friend. Within this hallowed halls, the arts of devastation are taught, primeval magics with which to bring about an enemy's ruin. If you would join our ranks and wield the power of Thaumaturgy, I urge you to seize this moment and confide in me your arcane ambitions. Yeah. Yes, there truly was no other answer, was there? Lean closer now and I shall whisper to you of Thaumaturgy's beginning. The nation of Udar inherited its traditions from the ancient Baladir, a city founded by the descendants of the first mages. The secrets of these illustrious sorcerers were ultimately entrusted to the priests of the Order of Natal, who have passed them down from generations to generations ever since. Focused and refined over centuries of use in the Order's funeral rites. Okay. The arcane magics of our ancestors eventually emerged as the art we now know as Thaumaturgy. A freezing blizzard to halt corruption, a raging fire to cleanse the corpse, a bolt of lightning to expel the sin of mortal life. The duelmers employed in the preparation of the dead are equally efficacious when applied to the living. Thus does our guild thrive in the depths of Azanant Osiri, a century devoted to Tau, the divine arbiter of the afterlife. What say you then, adventurer, if you would plumb the abyssal depths of Thaumaturgy? Let our learned sages guide your descent. Before you leap into the darkness, you must prove to our guildmasters that you are possessed of the spiritual fortitude necessary to look upon that which awaits therein. When you are ready to submit to the judgment of our most eminent mages, say the word. Yes. Well, adventurer, will you join our guild or do you presume to ignore the urgings of impatient destiny? A wise decision indeed. To prepare for your initiation, I would have you study the volumes of Fundamental Thaumaturgical Principle, or 108 of them. Or at least I would if such requirements had not been abolished. Too great a deterrent to fresh novices, they said. I suppose you shall just have to settle for the calling upon the collective wisdom of our guildmasters. We have 5, you see, all brothers of the same house. Although they all wield supreme authority, it is the elders who provide a singular voice for the guild when one is required. Master Kokobigo, I believe. Okay, let's see. Okay, so Tuna was talking about the blood-soaked dragon emperor. Now, here's the one thing I found very confusing, cause at first I thought the blood-soaked dragon emperor was a pure-blooded dragon, but it turns out to be a human with the dragon bloodline as well, so I'm actually a little confused on that one. Well, Bloodsoak did, Tuna was saying that he never inherited anything, he learned memories but never practiced any of the Bloodsoak skills. So here's my thought. Being part of memories, all the skills were part of Felton's memory, but he chose not to cultivate them since they probably didn't align with his path. But the Bloodsoak definitely played a very huge part in his cultivation and it helped him out a lot. Granted, there's a bit of a plot armor because of him. At first I thought he was a dragon. Okay, let's see. Who? What? Oh, Tao's teeth, man. Did your mother never tell you not to startle a Thaumaturge? Look at the expectant face, Kokobigo. This gentleman is obviously a new applicant for the guild seeking audience with our eldest brother. Oh, Prelate Yayake. She can recite 307 verses of the funerary rites of the virtuous fallen, but the simple task of keeping our names straight seems ever beyond her grasp. Bahaha. Well, I for one find the constant confusion endlessly entertaining. My apologies, good sir. My merriment was not meant to mock your mistake. It is our sibling, Kokobuki, with whom you should speak. What is this? What's this? Tao has led us to a new aspirant? Ah, Kokobuki, were you here the entire time? Greetings, Chow. I am Kokobuki, the eldest, and I would venture to say the wisest of the 5 masters of the Thaumaturge's guild. It is my solemn duty to furnish our would-be initiates with a succinct understanding of our beloved art. Thus, I would have your fullest attention. To wield Thaumaturge is to unleash devastation of the highest magnitude. The lethal force of our spells far exceeds the destructive capability of any forms of arcane manipulation. Fire, lightning, blizzard, somnolence, the Thaumaturge calls upon an expansive arsenal of offensive incantation to incapacitate and obliterate all manners of adversaries. Open your mind to our sorcerer's teaching, and you too shall soon hold the unparalleled power of our discipline in the palm of your hand. Of course, such power has a price. You must be willing to plunge headfirst into the forbidding charms of Thaumaturge's secret, for advancement in this art comes only with the completion of deadly and terrible trials. I ask you now, aspirant, are you prepared to leap into the abyss in pursuit of power unrivaled? A confident response, your name if you will. Very well, dragon. Let us mark your initiation with 3 eminently practical gifts. My first gift to you shall be an addition to your hunting log, the name of such enemies that will prove suitable to your training as a Thaumaturge. The second and third gift are the scepter and shield, instruments you shall need to focus the destructive power of your will. Do you believe your initiation over? My dear disciple, we have only just begun. Take your new weapons in hand, I will set you forth upon your first trial. Okay, so wait, I gotta equip stuff. There we go. Tuna noticed that the 10,000 Divine Lightning turned into a talisman created from the 10,000 Delight Lightning. He thought it became a talisman out of nowhere. So, okay, the 10,000 Divine Lightning thing, it's not that it was created into a talisman, but more of that it took the form of a talisman. So yeah, it has been, it's pretty much, it's not exactly a talisman, it's just it's literally just the lightning itself, just in a certain form that it chose to be in. The scepter well complements the avid desire for destructive power written upon your features. Now we shall complete your initiation with a trial to test the limits of your aptitude for channeling Thaumaturge. Huge horned star marmots and snapping shrews inhabit this land in abundance. Exercise your sorcerer's might and slay 3 of each of these creatures before returning to my side. I have Blizzard. Grants Umbro Eyes or remove Astro Fire. Okay, I got a feeling Thaumaturge is not going to be easy to understand. Well, the Tyrant Sword never really had an... well, not sword, the saber. The Tyrant Saber never really had a saber spirit. The talisman was always a part of the story. Okay, so Tuna asked, was the talisman always a part of the story? Tuna thought it was originally a ball of lightning that he gained, but it seemed to be called a talisman at the end. But Tuna isn't sure if Tuna missed it. Okay, so the first time Xiao Chen met with that thing and he met the Thunder Ancestor, it was already in a talisman form then. It was found in the middle of a ball of lightning. That I cannot quite recall. Okay, drop gauge. Let's see. The elemental gauge indicates whether you're under the influence of Astral Fire or Umbro Eyes, or under fire or fire. Increased potency. Or under Umbro Eyes, you have increased MP recovery. Personally, I do prefer ice, but depends. Continuously deal. Potency and MP cost. Okay, that is interesting. Interesting. It actually, and I cannot quite recall too much details about the Tyrant Saber. But I think there was an element of it consuming its previous master or something like that. Okay, good, level 4. It was a high level blade that lost its power, found by the Divine Vein Master who created an island that only appeared every 20 years. Maybe? I'm not sure. What is that? So if I do this, swaps over. Ah, okay, cool. Okay, we gotta do a bit of grinding, mostly because we got to get to level 5 before we go back. So actually the easy way is just to find these things and kill them. Should be going upwards this way, yeah. Mounts. Mounts. There we go, level 5. But I need to get that sulfate cloud thing. Where are they? Sulfate cloud. Get one more there. So let's see. So Tuna Emperor was talking about the Tyrant Saber in IMDC. So yes, I do agree. There's a lot of things that I found. I do feel that the Tyrant Saber had a lot of things that were not very. The author didn't really expand too much on the Tyrant Saber, and yeah. And I felt that probably more could have been done for that. Thaumaturge. You have the satisfied look of a mage who have utterly vanquished his foes. Dragon, I formally welcome you into the Brotherhood of the Thaumaturge. The purpose of this trial was to gauge your capacity for wielding Thaumaturge, an innate quality the limits of which are bound by the level of etheric energy flowing through your physical being. Aether, the very stuff of life, exists in all living creatures to a greater or lesser extent. Remember this, for it is the most basic law of arcane manipulation. As your experience grows, so shall your reserve of thaumaturgical endurance. The wellspring of your magical might will also swell in response to moments of extreme terror and duress. When you find yourself seeking greater challenge, when next you crave the thrill of exquisite fear, that is when you shall know the time has come for you to visit me once more. Okay, complete. Just in case. Yep. What do I get here? I got all this. Your burgeoning power strains against the confines of your untried mortal shell, another trial you must have. From this day forth, your tasks and challenges will be shaped by the teachings found within Thaumaturge, the Yawning Abyss, a tomb penned by the renowned Thaumaturge Zozomaya. My brothers, who have not once tasted the bitter draught of defeat, will instruct you on the vital lessons to be gleaned from the 4 extensive chapters that comprises this exemplary work. Much shall you learn about the threats with which a practitioner of our arts must contend. The first chapter, the threat of intimacy, falls within Kokobayo's purview. It is only fitting that one so averse to being approached should teach you the wisdom to be uncovered therein. Yes, Dragon, I have been expecting you. Allow me to read to you the pertinent passages from the opening chapter of Zozomaya's guide. The threat of intimacy. How magnificent the potent power we reveal. Roaring flames, piercing eyes, and shocking bolts are matched not by fist or sword or spear, but the burly warrior waxes fearsome with every closing step. Fists shatter bones, blades slide through flesh, spears puncture soft bellies. Know you this threat and stand you apart from such men. That last part makes me queasy no matter how often I recite it. The lesson, however, should be obvious. Keep your distance from your foe. Apart from the agony of being hit or stabbed or worse, you have a devil of a time completing an incantation with an enemy flailing his weapon at your person. Thus, the wise Thaumaturge always strikes from afar, the further the better. Now let us proceed with your trial. Take this dried fish and set it down in the vicinity of the Silver Bazaar. Next, simply draw back to a comfortable distance and await for a vulture to swoop in to feed. That's when you ambush the nasty creature with a barrage of deadly spells. Once you have slain the scavenger, be sure to retrieve a generous slice of vulture meat for Fafafono. He doesn't mind us conducting trials this close to his shop as long as he is properly compensated. Yes, Dragon, we pay him in sorcery blasted bird flesh. Okay, Silver Bazaar. Silver Bazaar is Western Thailand, yeah? Western Thailand. Oh, the ladybugs are here. I'll get the level 2 ones. Cactus! Good. Thunder. Thunder. Lightning damage over time. Okay. There's no... Okay. Good. Level 6. Okay, those are what I need as well. Okay, good. Hunting log done. Rusty Goblin. Goblin's done. Good. There's the destination. Dried fish. Oh, there. Okay. Looking for it. Couldn't find. Fafafono. Here he is. You're done making use of my testing ground, are you? Cough up the fee then. Hehe. There's nothing so tender as a meat pummeled with wanton wizardry. Nice doing business with you, Thaumaturge. Did you say Thaumaturge? Has this mage just completed a guild trial? Ah, Master Alchemist, what brings you out to our bazaar this fine evening? This gentleman here just slew himself a plum vulture. You'll be surprised at how many of these scepter-wielding sorcerers end up sliced to ribbon by big and talon. And that's not the sort of flesh I have a taste for, you understand? My brothers, not again. What? Are his brothers vultures? But go back to Coco Baco. No, this one. Ah, wait, I keep forgetting to go back to this. Ethernet Thaumaturge. Ah, welcome back, Dragon. You seem to have done well. Both eyes intact, face appears unshredded. It's truly the most terrible feeling to have one's casting interrupted by heinous injury. It is one of the easier trials if you ask me. Keep well away from pointy, slashy, bashy things if you want to reach the end of an arcane utterance. That's just common sense. Fortune favors the fighter who flings fire from afar. I simply love the look of loading leveled at me by the distant duelist distressed by my deadly downpour. Wahahaha. We Thaumaturge excel at offense but fail miserably at defense. Our most effective strategy is to topple our adversaries with overwhelming force before they have a chance to respond. Honor is for knights and dead mages. Dragon, your studies appear to be progressing nicely. It won't be long before you dominate the battlefield as an avatar of sorcerer's destruction. So it's true, Bookie. Don't try to hide from me, Baigo, or you, Bunny, Bezzy, or Boha. Kokobusi, what are you doing here? Oh, you promised! You promised you would teach me next. Well, yes, of course we did, Bussy, but Dragon here was most insistent. And once again you brush me aside in the hope that I abandon my heart's desire. Why do you deny me? I hate you, all of you. Ah, so he is the brother, that's what he meant. Please, Bussy, you shouldn't say such hurtful things. You know how delicate Baigo is. That was Kokobusi, our youngest brother. He so dearly wishes to become a Thaumaturge like the rest of us, but it simply isn't possible. The poor boy's etheric levels are pitifully low. We thought we had convinced him to accept fate's cruel quirks when he entered the Alchemist Guild, but he yet yearns to walk the path of Thaumaturgy. Such is Kokobusi's determination that he spends all his waking moments experimenting with alchemical concoction, seeking a method by which he can expand his capacity for arcane manipulation. Well, this is obviously not your concern. Back to the abyss with you, young Thaumaturge, and I mean that in the most encouraging manner possible. Okay, and that is the end of this episode. This is where I will probably, grind off camera so that, you guys don't see the whole boring process and we just jump straight to quests. Before I go off for both, this is going to be the last episode of this stream, in fact. So, yeah, before I go off, Two shameless plugs, yeah. Check out the novels I translate, Immortal and Martial Dual Cultivation. Fully released to the end and free to read at hostednovel.com. There is also EIF, Everlasting Immortal Firmament, is a work in progress, but daily chapters. Also, if you'd like to support me in any way, support me in for either for the YouTube or the Twitch or the translation, you can check out my Patreon below. There's also my merch store and book depository affiliate link. With that, I'll leave you guys here, and subscribe to the channel if you have not, like the video and ding the bell, and if you're on Twitch, click the follow button. And with that, I'll see you guys next time. Ciao!